Hello, welcome to my second ever sketchbook tour. This is from my second semester of art school. I'm an illustration student and I have to keep a sketchbook for one of my classes, but I have like complete freedom to do pretty much whatever I want within the sketchbook, but it is just something that I submit for a course at the end of the year, and this was my one from semester 2. My one from semester 1 is already posted. You can go watch that. Personally, I don't think this one is as good as that one, but anyways, you've been forewarned, and this is it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I'll just get started. Also, this is a Moleskine art sketchbook. I can link it below. They're a little pricey, but I do feel like they are so worth it. The quality of the paper is so good. I can paint, I can draw, I can like do pretty much anything except for marker and it won't bleed through, which is amazing. Even watercolor I can do. So yeah, start here. This is the first page that I did. I did it Christmas Eve actually, and it was just some pencil sketches of some people skiing. I don't usually draw with pencil, so this was fun. I love like the poses, they look so cute. I never draw in this style, but I actually quite like how this turned out. And then this was just an old photo reference that I found of a woman sitting on a park bench, and I liked it, and then I painted it in India ink and did a little collage in the background with some washi tape, and this was a collage square that I made. This was more pen sketches. You'll see throughout this sketchbook, I've really been trying to get into like a looser kind of line weight, like I don't know how to explain it, but I've been trying to like do sketches where I just kind of like plunge in head first and like just draw and like not worry about making it neat and just have it be messy and embrace that. And these were kind of like my first foray into that. This as well even is pretty sketchy, but I just added marker to it to give it some, I guess, more rendering. This was drawn from life at my college. Here we have Pedro Pascal in marker. I got these Prismacolor grayscale markers that you'll see kind of throughout the sketchbook because I really love them. And this was portrait. I didn't do a pencil sketch first. I just kind of dove in with the markers, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Pedro Pascal is, I think, quite famously now become a really easy person to draw, and it's true, he is really easy to draw. And then this was a Prismacolor drawing on black paper of an iceberg. This is like a Newfoundland scene. I don't love this, but it was just kind of a cool experiment. I really hate drawing ice. It's really hard to make it look like actual ice because it just doesn't translate super well. I don't know. Black paper wasn't the right call for this because ice is white. More gray marker, some geese studies. I sort of hate Canada geese. They're so loud, and they're also like kind of terrifying. If you're from Canada, you probably know, but they are really fun to draw, so that's something. And this was a gouache painting of some people waiting at a bus stop with all of their skis and stuff. I took this reference photo when I was in BC, British Columbia in Canada, and I just really thought it was cute. All these little people with their skis in this big forest waiting for a bus. I don't know. I kind of want to do a series of like paintings of people at bus stops like around the world. Don't steal my idea. Here's just some Prismacolor sketches of some farmers. And yeah, I don't have much to say, but I love sketching with Prismacolor more than with just regular pencil because I don't know what it is, just the feeling of it is just so much better to me. And then this is an oil pastel drawing from a Google Maps photo. This is in a video on my channel, and it's oil pastel on black paper, and I'm decently happy with it. I don't know. This is another one of those Google Maps paintings that's also in that video. This one's of Mongolia, of just an urban scene with a lot of cars. This was really kind of a challenge to draw all these cars, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. This was the first piece I ever did with marker, and I like it. And then this was Janelle Monáe at the Met Gala in, I can't remember what year, but I loved this look. I just thought it was so fun. It was from the camp theme in 2019, and I've been kind of working on a video of painting Met Gala looks, and this was one of the ones that I did. This is gouache, and it was just kind of a fun, interesting thing to attempt. This is another Prismacolor sketch. This one is of just a cowboy with his horse. I did like an under sketch with a lighter green color, and then I went on top with a darker green and did the final rendering. And then this is a Google Maps painting, again from that video. This one's watercolor, and I really love this one. This is one of my favorite pages in the whole sketchbook. It's a little cottage scene from Montana, and I just think it's so cute and so peaceful. And it did pretty well on TikTok too, which is always nice. This was a prompt that I had for my class. There are a couple pages in here that were specifically done for class, and I'll kind of like point those out as we go through, but this was the first one, and the prompt was basically just to make a page about what inspires your art. And so I printed out all of these little picture frames and sketched some of my favorite art from other artists in each of them. So this one is Jerry Pinkney. This is Jill Barklum, who did Brambly Hedge. This is AJ Casson, or Casson, I'm not sure. One of the group of 7 members, though my favorite group of 7 member. This is Maud Lewis. This is, ooh, I can't remember the name. It's a Japanese printmaker. I'll put the name on the screen, but I love Japanese prints. They're so peaceful and beautiful. This is Franklin Booth, one of my favorite pen artists. My favorite artist of all time, John Singer Sargent. And then this is Rob Gonzalez. He's a Canadian artist who does amazing like optical illusion art. This is Edward Hooper. This is just stained glass in general, not a specific artist, but I love stained glass art. And this is Joni Mitchell. Both her music and her art inspires me, so yeah, that's that page. This is another Met Gala outfit that I drew. This is Gigi Hadid wearing Versace at 2018 for the Heavenly Bodies Catholic Imagination theme. This was my favorite theme, and this is my favorite dress from that theme. This is probably my favorite Met Gala dress ever. I absolutely love it. I don't really think I did it justice, but I like the gold pen that I used. It's kind of shimmery and cool. And then I added this watercolor to kind of tie the pages together. This was another prompt that I had for class. It was just to draw like a building of any kind, like an imaginary dream building, and I did like this space castle thing. It's not the most original, but I quite like how it turned out. It's kind of cute. And it's a different style for me. This one, another reference photo that I took in BC and then painted with gouache. I really love painting like snowy trees and winter scenes like this. So this was super fun. I did some like little snowboarders at the bottom, 2 snowboarders, 2 tall trees. I really love it. And yeah, I'm really happy with all of these kind of British Columbia inspired paintings. There's a couple more that I'll show you as we go. And then this here is a watercolor study of a John Singer Sargent painting. And this is the painting, I think it's called Reading. It's a beautiful painting, you should look it up, but this is kind of my botched attempt of recreating it just to like learn kind of his style. This was something from class. I don't want to talk about it. Oh my god, I hate that page. These are some sketches of Borzoi dogs. And then this was in a little oil pastel portrait study It's actually Gregory Peck. I don't really think it looks like Gregory Peck, but it was just kind of experimenting with oil pastel portraiture and using like unique, fun colors. There's an artist that I follow on Instagram. I think their name is Victoria Mallier, and she does amazing oil pastel work, and I was kind of trying to do it sort of in the style of the work that she does. But yeah, definitely check her out because her art is amazing. Here we have another Met Gala look, and this one I sort of did an attempt to like do a bit of research into the inspiration behind the Versace dress, and it was Joan of Arc, and specifically the Joan of Arc painting by Millet. Millet is one of my favorite artists, and I love this Joan of Arc painting, so I did a little pen sketch of the figure, and then I did an acrylic study of the portrait specifically. I quite like how this page turned out, but it was just a fun little research project into fashion design. This cow, these cows I drew in Prismacolor. This is actually one of my favorite drawings in the whole sketchbook. I don't know why, I just think the cow has so much personality. I love drawing cows. Cows are so cute. I want a pet cow one day. And yeah, I did this on February 28th. Oh my goodness, last day of February. Sorry, random tangent. Here we have another Google Maps painting that I did for that video. This one is of Wales. I did it in gouache. This is probably my least favorite of the bunch, but I think it's still cute. I like the brick buildings. I love painting like little old brick buildings like that. Yeah, moving on. I really hate this drawing, but I was, again, just experimenting with that really rough, looser style of sketching that I was talking about earlier. And this time I added water to it and tried to blend it a bit, but I just think it kind of turned out awful. This, on the other hand, is a little plein air sketch of a cafe that I was at, and I'm quite happy with it. It's cute. Here we have David, the statue by, who is it by? I don't know. It's the famous David statue. I just did a little study of the head with, this is just Crayola marker, but it's kind of cute. I got a marker pen on it, which is kind of sad. This is a prompt that I had from class, which was to kind of talk about or do a page surrounding the idea of collecting references and browsing for references. So I drew the library, and you open the bookshelves and see all of the inspiration inside, which I thought was kind of cute. And I don't usually do like interactive things like this in my sketchbook, but I'm quite happy with how that one turned out, and I want to start doing it more now. These were kind of thumbnails and development sketches for a larger painting that I did. If you're curious, it's on my Instagram and on TikTok as well, but I'm really happy with how this final painting turned out. It's probably my favorite painting I've ever done. This was more kind of development work for that. This was just a random little scribble idea session that I had. These were some sketches for another class where I had to turn regular objects into architectural buildings. So that was this. I quite like these two. I think they're kind of fun. This was like a San Pellegrino bottle that I turned into an old airplane, and then this was like a wine bottle or something that I turned into a pirate ship. Two more portrait sketches. This is Drew Starkey and Jonathan Davis from Outer Banks, but they were really fun to sketch. I just did like brown and white Prismacolor on brown paper, and I'm quite happy with how they both turned out, to be honest. I don't usually do like hyper-realistic portraits like this, but I like them. This one is another painting. Sorry about that. This is another painting that I did of British Columbia. This scene is kind of completely made up. I had a sort of reference photo, but I really moved everything around and changed it, and like the hockey skaters hockey skaters. Hockey players are like entirely not from the actual picture that I took. Yeah, this is all pretty much from imagination now that I'm thinking about it. Like, this is not what the actual scene looked like at all, but I really love this painting, to be honest. I like the lights and the kind of dusky quality. I did like a blue wash of acrylic underneath and then the gouache on top. I've actually lost my gouache. It's quite a crisis. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need to order more, but it's so expensive, so I don't really want to. I don't know what happened to it, honestly. This was an acrylic portrait of, I don't know who this is. It was an old black and white photo that I found in a library book, and I just thought it was an interesting photo for a portrait, and I just added kind of my own imagined color to it. And then this was a Prismacolor sketch of a train. I love drawing old trains. I think they're so fun. This is probably my favorite page in the entire sketchbook, like this whole spread. This is a Prismacolor sketch, again, done from an old historic photo that I found in a library book. I did this in the back of my psychology elective, and I hated that class, but I got so much work done in this sketchbook during it because I would just sit in the back and like draw, and this was probably the first page that I did in that class, and I love it. He's just a character, you know? This was an acrylic painting. I did it on like a burgundy background, which was fun. I love painting the ocean. I've been kind of working on that more, and again, doing like a looser, more abstract style. I added a little bit of modeling paste into the waves as well to give them some more texture. And then the shipwreck. I'm always kind of fascinated by shipwrecks, so that was fun to draw. These were more objects as buildings. These ones I don't like as much. They're kind of lazy, I won't lie. This page, these drawings I like. This one I hate, but anyways, I did these two in psychology. These three were for my structural drawing class. I had to draw some like nature objects, and I did them from life. They're just shells and a pine cone. They're kind of fun, but I love these two drawings. This was really when I feel like I got a good grasp on that looser pen drawing style, and yeah, I really like these. They're just, again, from like old historic references, and I think they just have a lot of character. This one is watercolor pencil, flowers, nothing too special, but it's kind of simple and nice. I like it. This was just some pencil drawings of some kind of rural small towns in Canada. Very kind of basic, but I don't know, I like it. And I never draw in pencil, so this was kind of fun. Here we have a watercolor self-portrait. I hate this painting so much. Literally, like, it does sort of look like me, and I think that's partially why I hate it so much. But moving right along, this is acrylic, again, done from Google Maps, and this one's of the salt flats in Bolivia, which I would totally recommend looking up because they are so beautiful. But yeah, that was really fun to paint. I love painting clouds and the sky. Another cowboy drawing. I've lost track of how many there are in this sketchbook, but there is a lot. This one was done with red marker. It's not the most like accurate, like his leg is kind of broken here, but it was fun. Added some little cowboy boots in the background. Here we have a wolf. I made the eyes red to match this drawing, but I don't really like it. Now, it's not the greatest drawing I've done, but it's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of drawing like fur and stuff, so this was Le Mans, the 24-hour race at Le Mans. This is one of the Golf liveries. I'm not sure which car this is. I would imagine it's a McLaren just because the Golf McLaren collaboration is the most famous, at least in Formula One, but I don't know that much about Le Mans. So feel free to correct me if that's wrong. I had a page to do something, I had a prompt to do something inspired by just the phrase like 24 hours, and this was just the first thing that came to mind because I watch a lot of like racing and Formula One and stuff, so that was on my mind. And this was another marker sketch of a mountain scene, and I'm quite happy with how this turned out. Acrylic painting of a bear holding his fish. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about it, to be honest. I really hate it, to be honest. I think the face is too small for the head, if that makes any sense. But the water was kind of fun and interesting. I don't know. It's not the worst. It's not like something I'm going to cover up, but it's not my favorite. This painting, just a little watercolor study of, this was an old photo of Alaska that I found in a book, and I really liked the little plane at the bottom and the waterfall. So yeah, it's just kind of a simple scene. I was working on painting pine trees and rocks, so it was interesting. This is more thumbnails for, again, a larger painting. I ended up doing this one, but I might work on some of the other options like at a later date because I still like some of the other concepts. Here we have butterflies. I did these with watercolor pencil. And then this is acrylic portrait on a blue background. This was from a black and white photo and I just added color. Yeah, I'm really happy with this portrait, to be honest. I really like it, how it turned out. Here we have a sort of comic that I did for one of my classes, or at least like a rough draft of it. It was just based around kind of the winter experience in Canada and how like some people hate it and some people love it, and it's just in the eye of the beholder. These are some raven sketches that I did in pen. I wanted to paint these, but I never got around to it. Plants. I did these all from life. I don't love them particularly, but they're there. I added some leaves. This was a study for something else that I just quickly did on this page. This was an expanded thumbnail of one of the thumbnails from the previous page, and I ended up developing this into a kind of huge ink painting, which I have not posted anywhere yet, but stay tuned because I literally just finished it yesterday. These were some pen sketches. I did like a red kind of under sketch and then a blue on top for this, and then the reverse for this one. It's because my blue pen ran out of ink. But it ended up being kind of a cool thing, and I really like these two drawings. I like this whole page. Green sketches, again, doing that kind of looser style with both of these. And yeah, I think I especially love this portrait. I don't know why, I just think it has kind of a lot of life in it. But yeah, I love this sketching style, and you'll probably be seeing it a lot more in the future from me. This page was from when I was working on a painting in my painting class. It was like a watercolor life painting, and I was using this page to like swatch all the colors before I would put them on the paper. So this was an acrylic painting portrait that I did. It's just like an under painting that I did with burnt sienna. It's a portrait of Josh Hutcherson. On this page, this opens up. This is just a paint sample that I sketched an eagle on, but it opens up and has this. This was just something I found. I kind of thought it was cool, so I glued it in. And this was a pen sketch of a boat. Again, I did this in my psychology class, and this is just a leaf that I pressed. These were some marker sketches from life drawing, my life drawing class. They're really rough, but I like how they're kind of layered on top of each other in all these different shades of blue. It's just really fun. These are some nature studies that I did with just sepia pen, again, working on that looser style. The bird is a bit more refined, but still these were kind of fun to work on. I like how they look a little bit vintagey. Everything I do with like sepia ink, I feel like always has that kind of quality, which I really love. And then this is a portrait from a historic photo with Prismacolor. I did it in pink. I don't usually gravitate towards pink, but this was really fun. And I like the pink color. I kind of want to work with it more. These were, again, just development work for class, thumbnails, sketches, process work. These were 2 sketches of country musicians. This was supposed to be Coulter Wall, and then this is Johnny Cash. I really like the Johnny Cash drawing. This one I think is a bit shit. I really don't like it. I don't like the eye and just the whole face. I think I kind of botched it a bit, but I like the red under sketch and then the black, more refined one on top. I like that kind of style, and I want to try it again in the future at some point. And then this was a graphite sketch that I did in life painting of the model because I had some extra time, but I don't think it turned out very well. Apologies to the model. I really didn't do them justice. Prismacolor sketch of some jellyfish. I don't really love this one, but I added some washi tape to make it a bit prettier. And then this is another Home Depot paint sample. I just sketched a blue jay on top with Prismacolor, and then here's a collage page that I had done previously that I just cut up and glued in here. This was a portrait that I did entirely from imagination. I did it in highlighter first and then Prismacolor pencil on top. It's not my favorite, but it's my first attempt at sketching a face completely from my imagination, so overall I'm probably pretty happy with it. So yeah, this page was for a prompt to do something kind of inspired by music and creativity, and that was kind of just what I came up with. It's not the most original concept ever, but it's just a sketch for a sketchbook, so it's okay. This was more process work, development work for a project. Here we have yet another Home Depot paint sample, and this is just a pen drawing of Mont Saint Michel, and this is a lighthouse. Again, just working on that like looser, more sketchy style for architecture. And then this is oil pastel on black paper, just some strawberries and some flowers. I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. I didn't really do it expecting it to look good, but I'm quite happy with it, and I want to do more in that sort of style. This is, again, from that same collage that I put here, but I just cut up the middle part and stuck it on this page. And this was a drawing that I did for a birthday card I drew for my friend, and I had like this was just a draft of the final drawing, which she has the final drawing, but this was just the draft, so I kind of cut it out and put it in here. And these were some pen studies of a cowboy horse kind of gear. They're a bit rough, but it was just a fun day. I wrote a little note about what I was doing that day on the page so I would remember it. But yeah, they're not the best sketches, but it was a fun day, so that's kind of, I'm not gonna cover them or take them out or anything because I have like good memories associated with them. This is again really rough, just scribbles from life drawing, nothing special, but it's in there. This is a project that I had for my design class to design a mural for a cannabis dispensary, and this was the mural that I designed. I did it digitally on Procreate, and then I had to print it out for the class, and after the class critique was finished, I just had this printout of my mural on the canvas store, and I was like, what am I gonna do with it? So I just kind of cut it out and glued it in here. This really isn't my favorite, but I don't know, it's kind of unique. It's not a piece of art I'll ever really use or look at again, but I'll have it in here to remember it, I guess. And then this was, again, from a project. I did like a handbook on how to make a rom-com, and this was one of the pages. The instruction was to include a sad rain montage after the couple has their first like third act breakup. So that's what that was from. This was again from the same rom-com guide. This was about how it had to be set in New York City, and then these were the two cast members that I created. This is the last page. This is just, again, loose gestural pen sketch of Venice, and then this is the other half of a painting that I had in my last sketchbook. I had done a sketch underneath on this page, but I didn't like it, so I just used this to cover it up. But yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that is the end. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. I will hopefully be more consistent with posting from now on. I had a lot of work with school the past couple months, but I'm all finished with first year now, so I have a 4-month summer ahead of me, and hopefully I'll make a lot of art videos for this channel and for TikTok and Instagram. So if you are interested and you want to follow along, I'll put my other social media links down below. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and I hope I've inspired you to make some art.